Hey everybody, it's the Obscure Reference Show with Mike.
Obviously, I'm not a golfer.
Patrick.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Miles.
Of the sun.
And me, Drew, and we are here to talk to you about a bunch of nerdy stuff that happened this week. We're probably going to talk about E3 until Patrick gets bored and makes us play a game. Starting a little late today, sorry
Guess
about
what?
that.
We're gonna start with the game first.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I
Uh-oh.
don't care. I don't care about this stupid format.
Let's
It is
do it.
game-related game, so
A game? About a game?
All right.
Game.
It is meta-gaming. Game within a game. I'm not even really prepared for it, but just because you challenged me, this is what we're doing.
Oh boy, here we go. Once again.
The game is called Weird Ass Japan,
Okay.
and the game
Oh,
is going to be
God.
played. I'm going to give you the title of the game, and you're going to tell me what it's about, and try to make a description either of the gameplay or the story that is actually weirder than the Japanese game in question itself. And if you do so, and it's funny, you get points.
Okay.
Very simple. We didn't get a lot of weird games at E3. I was very disappointed. But a couple years ago, for the Wii, a game called Super PP Brothers came out. Super PP Brothers in Japan. What is that game all about? Mike, I'm sure you have answer ready.
So, are we supposed to give you the right answer or just a random answer?
Miles, just
If you-
don't worry about it.
If you already know what Super PP Brothers is about, we'll save you for last. But
I feel like I should know.
what do you want the game to
I feel
be?
So, I mean, like, inherently, I want the game to be about, like, cooperative urinal trials where you use the Wiimote to try to aim. But I don't think that's what it's going to be because PP is obviously a term in Japan that is not used correctly, hence Dead Rising. So,
Hence Dead Rising?
yeah, Dead Rising, you gain PP for taking it's EXP. Dead Rising as
Oh,
well.
okay.
So I will tell you that it is spelled P-I-I, like
Okay.
P, but with P.
So it is your me's that are peeing at urinals.
I like
It's basically a game. I know about this. This is the actual answer. Super PP Brothers is designed to go into bars, restaurants, pretty much anything with a urinal. They install Wii's and a television mounted above the urinal, and you use your Mii. You bring in. You can bring in your own Wii remote, or you can quickly make a Mii. They don't take that long to make. You can do the facial recognition thing, and
Do you also have to bring in your own Wii?
well, you're gonna have two Wii's basically.
A Wii, if you will?
Yeah, you're gonna have your Mii.
Does the game supply the PP at least? Am I expected to bring the PP in
yeah.
the bathroom too?
Yeah, sure. I mean, and you play the game while you pee.
P-E-E. Got it. Okay. Miles, do you think you know actually what the game is about? Or do you have another what you would like it to be?
I'm going to go with what I'd like it to be. Although, Drew's actually sounds like something that did happen. I'm not kidding. I'm pretty sure that there was. I did read about something similar in Japan.
Miles, Sega actually made urinal-specific games. That is what I'm basing my fake.
Yeah,
answer
that's
on.
what I thought. That sounds fairly accurate. That's what I was thinking of. As far as Super PP Brothers, I figure you play like a little drop of urine and try to make it back through all of the pipes to get back into your home, which is the dick.
Well, it's not. It wouldn't just be one PP droplet. It'd be two. Like there's a short one and then. Like,
Well, Patrick, it is a cooperative game.
Yeah, you could have two PP droplets, and they're trying to find the rest of their stream.
All right. Well, everyone gets a point
And
for
this-
this round.
And this is what we decided to start our show off on.
Miles
This is
gets
fantastic.
2 points for PP droplets. Super PP Brothers is actually very close, I think, to what Mike was describing. It's a game where you harness, you strap on Wii controllers to your genital region so you can practice your peeing skills. According to the text in the box, it promotes good bathroom skills and allows women to experience, for the first time, the pleasures of urinating while standing.
You guys, I have never been more proud than I am right now.
That is
Yeah.
an actual game.
Sadly, the sad part is, if Mike hadn't said that answer, I would have, and that is just horrible. It's horrible.
Don't be a sore loser, Drew.
Oh.
Just wait for the sequel game. That's all I'm saying.
Super PP Sisters?
No, the Super Poo Poo Brothers.
Duke
Yeah, of
Bros.
Where you play Kernels of Corn from Poops trying to find the
So
Master of Logs.
assuming
It's-
there's a boss battle, who's the end boss of Super PP Brothers? Like the Bounty Man?
It's Duty Kong.
A UTI.
The dead fly in the bottom of the urinal.
Oh.
The urinal cake
Next
monster?
question, Patrick.
Next, let's move on.
Next
please.
question.
Okay. The game is called Hatuful Boyfriend. Hatoful. Drew might have it, but with that
I know
laugh,
this one, I think.
we'll start with Miles then. Hatuful Boyfriend. It's a weird Japanese game. What's it about?
So it's a yaoi game, a visual novel, and the purpose of the game, you get certain like multiple options, and so you have to successfully navigate a date with your boyfriend, and winning is not only getting the sex but coming on his face.
I mean, do you own this game? I'm so confused.
It would
why
it
it's-
would be super pixelated because it's Japan though. And I don't know
Yeah.
how.
You would see
True.
nothing.
True.
Mike, Hatuful Boyfriend.
So I literally, earlier today, saw the title Hatuful Boyfriend.
Really?
And it must have popped up in one of my RSS feeds.
I can guarantee you it did because it was on all of them over the last couple of weeks.
Okay, so something's happened with this game recently, but I did not take the time to read anything about it because I just
He
assumed
ordered at GameStop.
dating sim of some kind. So I'm going to say it's a dating sim, and I'm going to say that it has a weird hook, like you're an alpaca, and you're trying
So
to.
close.
Oh shit! I know this game now. Ah,
Because I watched.
no, it's not. I know what game this fucking is.
I watched a video game playthrough of somebody. There was an actual like alpaca dating sim, and so or
Oh,
llama or
goodness.
something. So, so you are a alpaca. You're trying to hook up with real people.
Oh, well, there's a twist. You didn't have me until you said real people. If it was just alpacas
No.
dating amongst themselves in like the same pen, you haven't sold me a ticket yet. Drew, what do you think the game is about? Or what would you like
So
to be about?
it is a dating sim
Mhm.
where either the people that the boys you are trying to date are birds, or what you do in the game turns them into birds.
So you actually know what the game is about.
Are you kidding me?
No, wait, Pat. Before you say, is this the game where the humans or the pieces of sushi turned human?
No. So you play
Okay.
you work at the St. Pidgeot Nations Institute. You play the main character who's the only human. She interacts with other students who all happen to be male pigeons. And based off various scenarios and outcomes will appear weird outcomes. You're basically, it's like a bird dating sim.
It's super.
I can't.
There was a game talked about last week where you have it's a
I
dating
hate
sim
that I
where
was
the
that
characters are
Don't be
the
a
characters
sore
are
loser, Mike.
sushi turned
No, I
human.
don't hate that I was that close because I almost got it. I hate that I was that close because it exists and I thought of it.
Yeah, no, Mike, you got an extra point for that one. I do want to see alpaca dating sim show up.
The screenshot I saw was 3 pigeons dressed in like the stereotypical male Japanese school uniforms.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hilarious.
Garbage.
Oh man. Anyway, moving on. Next one.
Okay, let's do beep bop boop. Got them all out of order. The game is called Super Galdelic Hour. Super Galdelic Hour. Galdelic. Galdelic Hour. Drew, let's start with you, sir. What do you want to be about?
Super Galdelic Hour is a.
You're gonna have to try really hard because I don't think anyone's gonna get as weird as this Japanese game is weird.
It is a. It's not a platforming game. I'm losing the type of game it is, but you find power-ups that turn you into a woman within the game for the hour, and then you get to do all of the things that you couldn't do as a man that you can now do as a woman.
Not P standing up. That's the opposite.
Yeah, not that. I am going to
What can you
I'm going
do
to cut it off right there.
as a woman that you can't
Cut
do?
that off right there.
All right, so I'm saying that this game is about it's a rhythm-based shooter about
Rhythm
a knight
shooter?
about a knight named Galdelic that is saving the kingdom from evil pork buns.
Pork buns, got it. Miles.
Mine is an RTS about a high school student who gets flushed down the toilet and appears in a Gaelic-style medieval world, and you are this chosen one who has to save a princess from the evil.
All right. Well, you've actually described one of the other questions that one of the games, like question number 5. So we're just gonna skip that one. We'll give you the points for that.
Well done.
This round.
Wait.
Yeah.
We never would have known that if you hadn't said it.
Well, no, it's a whole. Nother...
Actually, I described the plot of an anime that I know, and I'm pretty sure that was the adaptation of it.
No, I'm just kidding. It's very close, but we'll go over this one. I'm gonna give Mike and Miles. Actually, everyone gets a point. Mike gets a little extra. What did Super Gaelic Hour? For no apparent reason, the characters, there are 4 animals that magically transform into scantily clad, busty women. Drew's very close. It's animals into women.
Animals.
And that's the first part. The second part is the actual game. You're supposed to try and make said women jiggle as much as possible. And it's a game show styled format that includes whacking and shopping, like whack-a-mole.
Of course it includes whacking, Patrick.
You're trying to get these transformed animal women to shake and jiggle. That's the game.
Wow. All right.
We got Uno Mas here because we're gonna skip that other one.
What was the other one?
Yeah, I just want to hear that title.
It's Toilet Kids. It's about a kid who gets like flushed down a toilet and has to go on an adventure through a Japanese bathroom unarmed.
Okay, all right.
There's an actual anime based on it too.
So the Japanese name of the 4th one here is Doki Doki Maju Shinpan, which translates to Thump Thump Witch Judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Or more accurately translated as Heart Pounding Magical Investigation.
Yeah.
I like a Thump Thump Witch Judgment, though. What's this game about?
So Doki Doki is, yeah, like you said, it's like a Japanese, almost like onomatopoeia for like the heart beating action, yeah, but in like a heightened sense. So you said Thump Thump Witch Hunt?
Thump Thump Witch Judgment.
Witch Judgment. So it's a puzzle game.
Magical investigation.
Right. So it's a puzzle game in the style of Phoenix Wright, where you have to investigate who witches are, but in order to investigate them, you have to make them like you enough to let you talk to them, and the way that you do that is by a match 3 game in the style of Bejeweled, and you build you build relationships with them based on the colors that you match. So if you match 3 reds, they're going to like you more. If you match 3 blues, they're going to think you're funnier. If you match 3 greens, they're going to think you're smarter. And then you get to investigate whether they're a witch or not.
Here's my response. So you play as the titular witch or the magical person.
Titty witch!
Investigating, not what titular means.
Yeah, it is. I've looked it up in a dictionary, guys.
And it's an investigation. It is an investigation game, but you're interviewing people. But the only way that you can get use your magic to get answers out of people is when they are flustered or their heart's racing. So you can do that in a couple of different ways. You can get them angry, or you can get them excited, or you can flirt with them and get their heart racing in that way. So there's the Doki Doki part, and based on the questions that you ask and the different things, because different characters that you're encountering will respond differently to different stuff. So some characters respond more to flirting, some will respond more to getting angry with them, some will respond more to whatever else. And then you can use your magical powers to solve the problem.
Whatever else sounds good. Miles, what you got?
It's an iOS game. It's a hentai game. And you use your fingers to
none
do
of those on iOS.
Incorrect.
mini puzzles. And basically, after you complete each puzzle and disrobe them all, you have to do one final fingering clitoral challenge to make them excited enough
comfortable.
Dolores?
Yeah.
to panic, aka come, and then you win the stage.
I thought her name was Mulva.
Oh, I feel like we've just lost at least all our female listeners, but maybe all of our listeners listening to that.
Miles wins that round and the game because that's really what the game is.
Fuck me.
Unbelievable.
Hold on, let me get through it. Doki Doki Maju Shinjam. It's about schoolgirls. You're a boy in a school, and you're trying to hunt witches. The only way to figure out if they're a witch or not is you have to arouse them enough by like jiggling them and touching them on their half-naked bodies until their heartbeat picks up, and then a witch mark will appear on their half-naked body.
That is just...
And this was
I know.
Wait for it.
I know
wait for
Japanese
it.
games well enough to know that that's a thing. That's not just me being a perv. I know Japanese games that well.
It was on the Nintendo DS.
Female woman in a bikini, and you're a helicopter.
That was on the DS.
I knew it was going to be on the DS because I
July.
knew there was going to be some kind of stylus mechanic in there.
Yeah, July 5th, 2007 came out in Japan, and believe it or not, Japan only.
No.
Doki Doki Maju Shinpan.
I have to. Well, the DS didn't have region lockouts, so you could import that if you wanted
Sounds
to.
like I'm going to be importing me a copy of a DS.
What did you say that name was, Patrick?
It looks really dumb. I'm watching.
I
the video
don't curse much on this show. What the fuck is wrong with you, Japan? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Excuse me. I think
Dude,
what is wrong with America that we can't have the freedom to have games like Doki Doki Witch Thumper?
To touch weird witch schoolgirl bodies all over.
Y'all don't know witches is evil. You don't touch witches. That's evil.
Hey, I would have adult relations with a witch.
They work for Satan, man. They Satan's ladies. You don't touch Satan's ladies.
Yeah, and they know what they're
You're
doing.
Right at me.
You would have adult relations with any supernatural.
Are you guys getting the peanut gallery over here?
What was that?
Sarah saying that I would have adult relations with almost any supernatural being, except for
Including-
mummies and zombies.
So what you're saying is female werewolves will do it for you, Mike?
No. Wait, pre-transformation.
Pre-transformation doesn't count.
Female lake monster.
Female lake monster.
As someone who,
All right.
It's
okay.
on top, woman on
like
the-
someone who's a huge fan of Japanese games.
I want to hear the female lake monster story.
So I was gonna say, are we talking like Zora lake monster, or are we talking like?
I was thinking more Creature from the Black Lagoon.
No, that's a creature. It's not a humanoid.
Look, are you saying that you would or would not use your wing dang doodle on the princess from Ocarina of Time when she's an adult princess?
You know, man, you only live once.
Doki Doki Maji Shinpan here, of course, only the adult.
You only live once. YOLO, have sex with a fish person.
This is our worst episode
A
ever.
mermaid, except the top half is a fish.
So,
Just with some classy legs.
E3 happened this week. Try to come back from that, bitches.
This is why did we do this first? There is no way that we are going to be able to do anything
Patrick's
else
so uncomfortable
other
you always
than
bring up
this.
E3.
The rest of the show is just going to seem boring by comparison, but
can talk about 90s music again.
everyone else has already turned off the show to listen to this.
Well, we got good stuff coming up after this, so.
Do we have good stuff coming up?
We can
after
keep
this? 'Cause
talking
I'm
about
not
90s
sure that
music.
We do.
I think they would have probably turned off if we had talked about E3 for half an hour and what our favorite parts were.
Yeah,
Very
so
slowly.
I mean,
That's
like, yeah,
Miles
there's
and
too
I,
much
when
stuff.
we did our-
We are not a resource for news. There's too much stuff to talk about with E3. I think ultimately, like, I like video games, guys.
I don't know
Zelda.
if you knew this, but apparently they have games for the Xbox One now.
Incorrect.
Which is, I'm pretty sure you can't just watch sports and Netflix on it. You can actually pick up the controller and interact
In 2015.
a video.
2015, you'll be able to.
Nothing is happening now.
Season.
Today, however, you can play Peggle 2. So Peggle 2.
Oh, finally.
So so show highlights so far. If you had your top 2 things that you saw, what would they be?
I don't own a Wii U, but I loved Splatoon. That game looks adorable. The 4-on-4 squad shooter where you're
Nintendo announced a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I think Splatoon is a cool idea. I don't really think it's the game for me.
it's going to be implemented terribly, I'm sure, but it looks adorable.
For me, the 2 biggest things are the open world Zelda teaser.
But when's that going to come out? Like
2015.
Next year.
To come out in 2015.
When in 2015?
To come out in
Like, the
2015.
Wii U has been out for what, 2 years?
It'll be 2 years this year, I think.
Oh,
2 years this holiday. But they've already had one Zelda game on there, and they're going to have another one this fall. It's going to be the Zelda Hyrule Warriors, which also looks really cool.
well,
Yeah.
the other game also came out just for the Wii too, right? So
Well, yeah, it was an HD remake, but it counts. But number 2, that Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Pain trailer.
dude, I watched that trailer like 7 times this week.
That trailer is hot. And am I the only one that's played Ground Zeroes?
Yeah, I haven't played it yet.
Yes.
Yeah, y'all should get that. It's on the Best of E3 sale. You can pick it up for like maybe $10 on PS3, which won't be as pretty as the PS4 version, but it is. I paid the full, I think, $30 for it. I used my $10 PSN credit, and then I paid $20. I found it to be worth it, but I'm also a huge fan of Metal Gear games, so maybe that's not the best indication. But it is a complete reworking of the Metal Gear. The way that you actually play the game, and it works really well. It's gorgeous, but that trailer with the story elements, it's just, I can't wait for that game.
I'm pretty excited. I mean, I haven't played Ground Zeroes, but as a huge fan of the series as well, I saw a lot of stuff that they're kind of tying together and wrapping up in Big Boss's story. Pretty stoked.
I gotta say,
for that one.
I know I'm gonna take crap for this. I prefer Big Boss to Solid Snake. Just gonna throw that out there.
I think that it's the Big Boss and Solid Snake stories are interesting. Like, I think I find interest in the whole like cloning and fox die aspect of Solid Snake's life, but also like when you look at the stories that have been told with Big Boss, there's a lot of cool stuff there with the boss and like the story of betrayal and his backstory and a lot of stuff that goes in there too. So I understand it, but like Solid Snake and like Metal Gear Solid 1 will always be like the Solid Snake experience for me.
Now, I agree. I mean, I love Metal Gear
agree.
Solid 1. It's a fantastic game. There's so much about Big Boss's story as it relates to the Cold War and the CIA versus KGB and all the stuff that's going on around that just means a lot more to me from an interest level and from a historical level than Solid Snake's story does. Because after Metal Gear Solid 1, Solid Snake doesn't have much of a story. He's barely in Metal Gear Solid 2. He's Old Snake in Metal Gear Solid 4, but all Metal Gear Solid 4 does is tries to make sense of the super convoluted, crazy plot Metal Gear Solid 2. It's a great game. I love Solid Snake. I mean, it's like Big Boss is right here. Solid Snake is right here, just barely under
And
him.
then Jehudi is up here.
No,
Who?
Jehudi is up there because of Jehudi's cockpit schlong that goes on. Moving on.
I was very.
What were your big two?
Huh?
Your big two of E3.
Well, like, are we talking straight up kind of like new reveals? Or are we talking everything?
Everything. The two biggest
Everything.
things. Like,
I mean,
we've
like,
all known that. Like, mine is Metal Gear Solid 5. We've known Metal Gear Solid 5.
Right. So I'm super jazzed about a potentially like open world, like almost Bethesda style approach to a Zelda game.
It looks so gorgeous. It looks so pretty.
Absolutely.
That would be really nice if they were just like in the vein of the Elder Scrolls, just like here's Zelda, go.
Well, and they've
um,
already talked about being able to do dungeons out of order like they did in Link Between
Right.
Worlds.
They were like, Link wants to climb that mountain. Why is he climbing that mountain?
Nice.
My favorite
Thank
part
you.
of that was them explaining to Nintendo users like what an open world game was, because they're like basically explaining it to like 5-year-olds. Like, you can go anywhere you want. There's no walls to tell you where not to go.
Well, I mean but that is a thing for Zelda games, especially lately. You have always had. I mean, even back to the old. I mean, Link to the Past. You had stuff that you could not cross until you went to this dungeon and got this item, and now I've got the hook shot, so I can shoot across this. Or
Nintendo apparently also announced a new IP called Codename Steam.
it's a steampunk style thing,
Yeah.
right?
I
My
think-
RSS reader has been under a ransom DDoS attack twice this week, so I've missed out on a lot of news.
I watched some Destiny gameplay footage and that looks great. I'm gonna be, if I don't mention Bloodborne.
Yep.
Which
my
we don't
gosh.
even really know what Bloodborne
We don't, but it
is.
just
Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter. FromSoft has just, oh man, yeah. And also Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat X. Good night. Looks awesome.
Yeah.
So I will say
It really does.
I got it. I signed up for the Destiny Alpha, so I got my code, so it's downloaded and installed onto my PS4. I will, depending on how late we go, because I don't have to work tomorrow, I might go in there and crack it on if it's turned on by now.
Crackdown 3.
Crackdown 3, which I've never played any of the Crackdowns, so
The
I
first one was rad.
Yeah, I'd never heard of that game before this week. I was like,
Wow, really? The
what's
first Crackdown was fantastic.
Yeah, was it Xbox 360?
The first Crackdown was like, it was the superpowers in an open world game kind of genesis. Not necessarily genesis because there were games before, but it was the first one that did it well.
Cool.
But it was also sort of lighthearted and kind of funny, right?
Yeah.
I mean, people before, prior to E3, were thinking that this was going to be a new Saints Row game, but turned out to be a Crackdown game, right?
Yes. Also, no mention of The Last Guardian, but they didn't not say that it wasn't going to be maybe at TGS or Gamescom.
I would honestly see.
I
Last
was so
Guardian
pissed
more
off
at
because
TG.
our stream had stopped, and Mike's like, "Oh my god, Last Guardian!" I got so fucking pissed off when it started off and it was goddamn Nathan Drake's pasty ass.
Yeah, and so that's the thing is like, I'm done with Uncharted. Ever since The Last of Us came out, there's just not a whole lot that's gonna bring me back to Uncharted. But if it is a proper ending to the Uncharted story, then I will be in.
I need to play 3. I own it because of PlayStation Plus, but I have yet to even download it onto my system to play. Maybe that'll be the next thing I
Same.
do.
Also, I don't really understand Amiibos
I think my big
yet.
two.
Ugh, don't get me started on Amiibos.
Amiibos! I'm only gonna buy Link. Let's be honest. I'm only gonna get Link.
I hope they produce like 5,000 Link and Mario's and Samuses for like every Kirby or what were
I don't even think Kirby has one. It's the
There's some.
Fit Trainer has one.
Yeah,
Which I said this on Twitter, and I feel bad for the Wii Fit Trainer because she's in like this yoga pose where her leg is like sticking out, and I just know there's going to be a whole series of both Japanese and American developed like sculpt alterations that are just going to make that horrible for everybody.
So that's horrible, true. But
It's
they're
going to
probably
happen though.
I
You
doubt
know
they're
it's going to
gonna-
happen.
they're probably gonna sell them like the Disney Infinity
Skylanders
series,
and whatnot.
where it's
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 in a pack, so you can't buy them individually.
I don't know, man. I think they're going to do. I don't want to just get 2. I want 1. I just want
Yeah.
Link. Why do I need another one? I
Because
don't know-
you're gonna have to pay $30 for a pack of 3 instead.
So I
Trust.
think my big two was No Man's Sky, which just looks like
Oh,
art.
Yes.
Dude,
I just
in
don't even
general-
understand that game.
You don't have to. It
Right.
just through
It's about
exploration alone just looks beautiful.
Which I'm
It is-
I'm excited for.
It is so.
It looks like a game I can get lost in for hours and
It-
be happy.
It is supposedly an infinite game. No one starts. Every time a new player starts that game, they start on a brand new planet, but everything is intertwined with everything else, and they're just all connected in one universe that just continues to expand. And I don't know how the hell they're gonna do that.
Well, it's
I
like,
don't either. And like
It's like-
Drew pointed out when we were watching the stream, the fact that you leave the planet, you mess around with an Armada, and go to another planet with no load times.
I'm actually very excited about that. I'm in general the PlayStation's kind of commitment to a lot of smaller games, smaller independent games. Bringing back Grim Fandango, for example.
Yeah,
That
which is
was
good because
cool.
I never got to play Grim Fandango when it was
Me
out.
either.
Me neither.
You're gonna discount it, and then
So there was that, and I mean,
I hear a wild Sarah.
Oh, sorry guys, I thought my mic was muted. Grim Fandango, yes, I've never played it. I would like to play that too.
I mean, like everyone else, Zelda
Speaking of
obviously.
E3, I was talking about trying to sell my Xbox One, so
Oh, even after E3.
especially after E3.
You don't want to
I'm
play
actually really-
Halo?
Stoked
Again?
for the Mario Maker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mario Maker seems okay.
I'm not stoked.
I'm
I
not
like the
gonna-
idea of creating your own Mario levels. That's cool
I'm
to me.
stoked about. I want to play other people's insane creations.
I want to watch
Yes.
YouTube videos of those plays. I do not want to play them.
I
I think it could be a lot of fun.
I just don't see the point, honestly. I mean, I don't care about some
Why?
dude's Mario levels.
You were
I
just for
mean,
Little Big Planet 3. What's the difference?
No, I don't. I think the Little Big Planet 3, as far as a pre-made game, seems really cool, but it is not the game for me.
But the
I
whole
don't
point is to
care.
make your own levels.
I know that's the whole point, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to do it, and it doesn't mean that I'm going to play anybody else's levels.
Playing
I-
other people's levels is rad. Making your own is a long process.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, this is the same thing. Like I don't take crap for it, luckily, but I'm not even that huge into the indie game scene. But there are a few indie games that really strike my fancy, like Bastion or Gone Home or No Man's Sky looks amazing. I've never played Minecraft, which we got a Morty Nerd challenge for it, and we just need to plunk down the cash to get it, but we haven't done it. It doesn't float my boat. It's not my thing. I prefer a cultivated experience and the sort of homespun experience that a lot of indie games and a lot of maker style games like Mario Maker or Minecraft or anything like that just don't really do it for me.
I think the implementation of the Wii U pad is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. I was actually pretty excited about that one as well. But if you saw the video, like you can play in like classic, Super Mario World graphics, or like advanced Wii graphics. I thought that was pretty cool, and like switch back and forth between them.
And for a secondary thing, I'm actually extremely excited that Final Fantasy Zero is finally coming to the States.
I did
Fantasy
not.
Type Zero, rather.
I did not see a single article. Well, no, I did see one article referencing that. Coming to PS4 or 3.
PS4 and Xbox One. For those who don't know, it was a PSP game that was released exclusively into Japan in 2011 to rave reviews. And for whatever reason, despite a lot of even American reviewers, I remember I used to do a podcast with some guys from Play Magazine.
You mean we're not your first podcast?
I'm sorry, listen to a podcast. And they were guys who were from Play that went to EGM, but they used to be they worked for localizations of Japanese games, so they could speak Japanese. So they played a copy, and they were saying it was the best Final Fantasy that Square had made in a long time, and it should have been a numerical game. So I'm really excited to play it.
Cool.
I mean, it sounds great. I mean, I've heard about Final Fantasy Type Zero for a long time. I'm not gonna sit on my couch and play a JRPG anymore. I need it on a portable system.
I understand that.
And not that I have a Vita, but I mean, I didn't.
Oh no, it's gonna be a PS4.
I know, but I'm saying even if it was on the Vita, I don't have a Vita, but I mean, it would be potentially something I would another aspect to getting a Vita, much like you could do the PS4 sync and play games on that. I mean, I didn't think I was going to put that many hours into Bravely Default on my 3DS, but I maxed out the clock on that too. I easily had 99 hours in that game.
I'm no longer interested in Alien Isolation, guys.
Why not?
Because I found out it's a shooter.
So this is what I heard today.
Was there ever a doubt?
You get a gun, but you're on a space station, and there are like looters on the space station.
Yeah, we heard the same thing.
Okay, but you are not necessarily shooting the alien, because the alien's gonna wreck you with the little tiny pistol.
Yeah, I know, but like I just don't
want just Alien.
Well, I was really excited about the prospect of an Amnesia style game with a xenomorph chasing you.
Yeah.
And now
I agree with that.
But that isn't a game that could be 10 to 12 hours on its own with the budget that this game has behind it.
Yes. Speaking of Amnesia, they put out their new game.
Soma? It's not out yet, is it?
No. I didn't think they displayed it at E3.
Oh, because they had been talking about it for a while, but
Yeah. I'm excited about that.
Well, I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, there were a lot of cool newer IPs at E3. Most of them were indies, but most of the big name games really kind of followed a formula. There were a couple of big name titles that I think made some changes. Like, I really think that the Rainbow Six, Rainbow Six The Siege. Did you guys see that trailer?
Yeah.
No, I haven't paid attention to Rainbow Six in probably about 10 years.
What'd you say, Mike?
It was a totally constructed for the event trailer to the point that it was like jarringly scripted, but
it's super scripted.
Conceptually, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a 5v5 like. It's not like allies or versus. I mean,
no, it's like a hostage situation where there's one group of people that's like holding down this hostage, and the hostage is essentially like a flag in capture the flag mode, and you have to breach in a way to get in there, and you can go through the ceiling, you can go through the walls with like C4, you can like go through a window. It's pretty cool. It's like approach this hostage situation from any angle.
And it's hostage takers versus hostage rescuers, and it looks really cool. I'm kind of excited for that. Ubisoft is making
Battlefield.
Battlefield Hardline. I do not.
No. I'm sorry, Battlefront.
I was actually pretty excited about Hardline. That looks pretty cool.
Hardline, I don't care about. Battlefront.
So, well, yeah, the Star Wars Battlefront that they
Yes.
barely showed.
They showed enough for me to get super hype about it, though.
Look, the best part of the
Yeah.
EA conference was the Mass Effect music that I'd already heard.
Oh, also, Pac-Man being in Smash Bros. Is kind of cool.
Okay, that's. I mean, so you
Yeah.
got because Sonic is back, right? In
Yeah.
Smash Bros.
Yes.
Yeah, and yeah.
So you got Mario, Sonic, and Pac-Man all in the same game.
Where's
Yep.
Crash Bandicoot? Why can't we get Crash Bandicoot in this game? Just have every system slug it out.
Because no one gives a shit about Crash Bandicoot.
You hold your tongue. Naughty Dog gave us some amazing games.
Oh,
I know they did, but no one
Where's the icon of
cared
this
about Crash Bandicoot.
have you guys ever noticed that Nathan Drake and Crash Bandicoot wear the same bandana around their neck?
There is a part of Uncharted 3 that is a straight up Crash Bandicoot sequence.
So you have to run away from something in a straight line like this, and then jump over different things.
Yep.
And is there a
Yep.
mask following you, going, oh, booga, booga, booga? Booga.
And if you hit a TNT box, it does something. I don't know. It's been so long since I played a Crash Bandicoot game.
You pick up mangoes for points.
Patrick, you really fucked us up with that game at the beginning.
Seriously,
fucked this
man,
up.
we are out of steam.
What? Do you want to play? Do you want to read some Shatter Skill?
At this point, we have even lost the only viewer we had left watching us live. I think it's time to call it a night.
Who cares about viewers watching us live? It's usually 2 people.
I mean, you know, he's got a point, Drew.
You're like 200 people.
Anyone can go and see the comments from these videos. It's not a secret. But we do obviously have many people listening to podcasts. Record numbers, which is very exciting, and we love our podcast listeners even more so than people.
We're mostly because we're surprised we have them.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty surprised.
Like, the more you don't understand, but this is just, you know, randomness that we do.
I would
Yeah.
rather start an episode with energy than have a slow conversation start us off about games, and then, people will just turn us off like halfway through.
Yeah, I just we'll have this conversation off air.
Let's have it on there. No one's watching.
No one's watching. Wow.
Behind the curtain.
No, I just with that the game was actually a good game this week, so there's no way that we're gonna be able to match that energy. So instead of
I'm not
boring
going to
people in the
dignify that
beginning,
with an answer.
but instead of boring people at the beginning, we're boring people in the middle. I mean, it's.
Well, I mean, it was inevitable that they were going to talk about E3 because it's a big thing that happened, and that's what we do. We talk about that kind of shit. Like Mike says, yes, we're not a news source, but being that we all play games, it's something that we're going to be talking about because it's relevant to our interests.
I knew we were going to talk about E3, but it does stink because it's like, are you guys excited for this game that's going to come out in 12 to 15 months?
Look, wait, I know. I mean, that's the thing that.
Well, one of the coolest
every
things that
E3.
that Sony did was the coolest thing that Sony did was like, oh yeah, and you can download this game now.
Oh yeah, that was pretty neat.
But they did that for like one game.
If they did
Yeah,
that
that was
for-
still cool. Like I've never seen that done at E3 before. They fucking appled that shit.
Well, that's the whole thing. Like I said, their kind of re-emphasis that yes, we love indie developers. I thought was probably the best thing that came out of E3. I hope they continue with that. Uh-oh, what we got?
What is
we got
Mike
going on?
doing?
Oh, it's Fett. It's Fett Man.
Oh, thank you, Mike.
It's Vasily the Fett.
Vasily the Fat. If you listen to our this week's The More You Nerd episode.
Sarah bought a copy of Tales of the Bounty Hunters.
Yeah, you throw that shit in the garbage because it's
It's a good
no
book.
longer part of the expanded universe because the expanded universe is gone.
Throw it in
Bother
the
reading
garbage.
That is gone.
This
Right
book is
now.
literally vanishing out of my hands as we speak.
It's the photo from Back to the Future.
Marty, you gotta go back and save the expanded universe of Star Wars.
The book is being replaced with stories about Jar Jar Binks, who is still canon
Anakin
canon.
Skywalker. All these books are now about Anakin Skywalker.
Oh no. The pod racing trilogy was great.
Speaking of, remember that
Timothy Zahn.
Simon
When
Pegg is going to
Timothy
be
Zahn
in Star
wrote-
Wars.
What's that? What, Miles?
What, Miles?
There's a rumor that Simon Pegg's going to be in. There's a rumor that
Your connection
What
is
the
so
fuck
bad.
are you doing, you fuck?
He's like 5 seconds behind.
All right.
There's a rumor that
Miles
Simon...
is like our person in the field, and we'll go to Miles. Thanks, guys.
All right. I think now is time to call it a night.
there's a rumor that Simon Pegg in Star Wars.
Good night, everybody. You can find us at themoreener.com, facebook.com/obscure
Deuces and gooses.
at Obscure Show. We will see you next week with hopefully a much better episode than this garbage. Good night.
There's a rumor that Simon Pegg